this is Brian with ActiveMelody.com. In this week's MicroLesson, I'm going to show you how to play some T-Bone Walker style chords. That's what I call them anyway. Now these are perfect for blues or jazz, and I'll show you how to play them in this video. If you'd like to download the tablature for this and check out all the other MicroLessons that I have, you're going to want to go to ActiveMelody.com/micro. Alright, so the first thing I want you to do is tie everything back to a recognizable chord shape. That way you can easily play this chord style in any key. And so the first thing that I do is I just go ahead and visualize. Actually, why don't you go ahead and play an A major bar chord. That's where we bar on the 5th fret there, and then we use these 3 fingers to make the E chord shape behind that bar. And the reason for that is when we slide into this first chord, I want you to see how that connects to this chord shape, so that if that's in the key of A, or I'm sorry, if that's an A, then this is actually also an A too. That would be considered an A9 with a C sharp in the bass. But we'll get to that in just a second. But that's where we're going. And when you make this chord shape, you can see that your ring finger and your pinky are both in that root fret. They're both in that fret that you were barring. So that way, if we were playing this in the key of B, you know how to make a B chord like this, so you can easily find that chord shape. And you can see how it relates to the chord of the key that you're in. Okay, so let's get this chord shape down. So what we're going to do is take our pinky on the 2nd string, 5th fret, and our ring finger on the 4th string, 5th fret. And then middle finger goes down on the 4th fret, 3rd string. So those 3 fingers are really just making a D7 chord shape. If you think of a D7 down here, that's how I kind of think of it. And then your index finger goes down, also on the 4th fret, but this time on the 5th string. So they make kind of like a little box. It's actually very easy to play, it's easy to grab, and it's very convenient. You can either look at the D7 chord shape here or the D chord shape here with your pinky down. Either way, that'll help you visualize making this chord shape. Just remember, these 2 are in your root fret for the key that you're in. So now that you know that, this chord shape is referred to as either, if you want to be real technical, this would be a C sharp minor 7 flat 5. Well, that sounds pretty complicated. So the way I think of this is I just think of this as an A9 chord with a C sharp in the bass. So that makes it easier. So it's just kind of a jazzier version of an A chord. Think of it that way. And what's nice about this chord shape is you can slide it. So you can slide into it. And that's what I was doing for the intro. And so that's what I'm playing. Now I went then to a D9. Let me just show you how to make that chord shape while we're at it. I know a lot of you know that. But these 3 fingers are going to make the D7 chord shape again, where we've got our middle finger on the 5th fret, 5th string, our index fingers on the 4th fret, 4th string, and then ring fingers on the 5th fret, 3rd string. Then your pinky comes up here and bars string 1 and 2 on the 5th fret. So that's a D9. So now you've got a nice A9, kind of jazzy. Then you got your D9. And those 2 chords work really well together, and they're actually easy to jump from one to the other. And we're going to slide into this one. Now we're going to go back to the 1 chord. Now watch this. Stormy Monday, you hear that in songs like that. And what I'm doing is I'm just sliding that chord shape. I'm going below it, to it, above it, and then back to it. So it's kind of, you're just kind of moving, dancing all around that chord shape. And then we go back to the 4 chord, and then back to the 1 chord. And with the right hand, I'm just doing a series of downstrokes. Then we go to the 5 chord, and that's just an E9 chord. It's the same exact chord shape as we did for the D9. We just slide everything up 2 frets. That's a general rule of thumb. For your 5 chord, it's just whatever you're doing for the 4 chord, just move everything up 2 frets and it'll work. There's your 5 chord. We walked it right down to the 4 chord, and then we're back to the 1 chord. So that's the T-Bone Walker chord shape. Alright, so if you need the tablature for this, I've got everything tabbed out in both PDF format and the on-screen tab viewer. You're going to want to go to ActiveMelody.com/micro and do a search for ML031. That's a lesson number for this lesson. So a great way to practice this would be to play this in the key of A, which we just learned it in, but then transpose everything and play it in the key of G, and then try playing everything in the key of B. And you'll find that you can do this pretty easily now that you can connect it all back to that root chord.